Hello, and welcome back to Sakura Moyu, and let's get started with today's read-through. I was vaguely looking at the sky. Petals flowing down the Yozora. The Haru Gakuensai had just ended, but now the next event awaited us in the Yoru. It was the annual event in the Yoru, but
ごめんね、大河くん。お待たせしちゃったかも。
I heard a voice. I turned around. There stood Haru, who had finished changing. Wow. I'm so surprised. I really wasn't expecting this.
どうかなこれ、変じゃないかな
Haru intertwined her fingers, looking embarrassed. It was the seifuku for the assistant working at the Yume no Nedoko, which also served as an eatery. It's not strange at all. I think it suits you well.
そっか、ならよかったよ。
When I gave her my honest opinion, Haru returned an honest smile. Though her cheeks were still a little red. Tonight, there's a omatsuri in the Yoru no Kuni. It hosted by the Neko. Takes place at the change of seasons. Once the omatsuri ends, the season will completely shift from that day on. Even the sleepy plants and trees will all bloom. Days that feel chilly won't come anymore. Tonight's omatsuri, called Haru no Yoru, is also like a ritual for the Neko to welcome Haru in their own way. And the Haru no Yoru seem to hold a special significance for the Neko, more so than the omatsuri of other seasons.
今年こそ咲かない桜が花をつけてくれないか。街中がそんな期待でいっぱいだ。今夜は忙しくなりそうだぞ。
Haru and the other person, Asai-san, said that after finishing dressing the two of them and coming out of the back room. An old giant sakura stood as it leaning against the school building. This sakura hasn't bloomed for a very long time now. Even so, it's not as if the tree's lifespan has ended. When Natsu comes, it sprouts lush green leaves. And yet when Haru arrives, it falls silent, looks like withered branches in the dead of winter. Even as many sakura filling the town noisily bloom in full glory, that one tree, for some reason, remains solitary and quiet. So, if we make a big fuzz at the omatsuri, won't even the unblooming sakura get carried away and finally flower? If that sakura blooms in full cool color, then through Haru will finally come to this town's Yoru as well. With such anticipation, the Nekos, while fidgeting and excited, tried to make the Yoru no Haru. Oh, okay, maybe it's better as Yoru no Haru, amusingly noisy and bloom in full glory again this year.
今夜の祭りで私たちのお店では炭酸ラムネを出そうかと思ってる。あと 白玉あんみつだ。我が家自慢の手作りだぞ。
There were over 100 bottles of ramen in total. We diligently helped with the bottling. Asahi-san said they'll sell them for 50 yen each. Dad, can you even make a profit?
そんなもの気にするのは人間と卑しい一部の飼い犬だけだぞ、タイガー。
Damn, haters of dogs. Big fucking neckos, man. I was sharply told something full of prejudice. Should I call it a dog and monkey relationship? Or perhaps a dog and cat inu neko one? More than that, the neko in this town seemed to dislike the presence of Inu. But well, let's put that aside for now. When will the other person return, I wonder? Just as I was about to ask Asahi-san about it, I suddenly felt a gaze and turned around. From the door to the back room, Neko Mimi and a tail were peeking out. Kuro, doushita no? You should just come out instead of hiding there. Still, given Kuro's personality, it wasn't surprising. Right now, not just me, but Haru and Asahi-san were here. Was it unavoidable for Kuro to be wary given her personality? That's what I thought, but apparently that's not the reason.
恥ずかしい。
Huh?
恥ずかしいよ、タイガー。
Her ears and tail were trembling.
どうしてこんな、私までこんな。
そんなのは決まってる。
Asahi-san said smugly.
売り子は可愛い子に限る。理由はそれ以上必要だろうか。いいな、全く不要だ。そうだろう、タイガー。
Huh? I nodded, not understanding what she meant. Then a voice full of complaints came back.
なら、春だけでいい。私はそこにいらない。必要ない。
いや、必要だ。一人より二人、二人よりももっともっとなんだ。春とトウヤと、そして君だ。考えてもみなさい。私やタイガが可愛い格好で売り子なんかしてもおぞましいばっかりだ。集まる客も集まってこないじゃないか。
Asahi-san, you just casually said something incredibly rude to both yourself and me. Also, I flinched when she suddenly touched upon a trauma.
だが事実だ。悲しいけれど。そうだろう？
I guess so. No, actually, if I try hard, I could be cute too. Asahi-san, I wouldn't say anything that could corner myself like that. Never.
私のような年でフリフリの可愛い服なんて着るのは見るに耐えない。そんなのまるで犯罪だよ、タイガー。
What are you talking about, Asahi-san? You still look cute. What are you talking about? Stop making some lies right now. Stop with the slander. Stop. You don't have to put yourself down so much. Asahi-san, you're pretty cute. Or rather, plenty beautiful. Wins her route. Anyway, Asahi-san's expression became a little flustered.
タイガ、いつから君はそんな平気な顔してちょっとドキッとするようなことを言えるようになっちゃったんだ。お姉さんはびっくりだよ。
She said that, pouting. But couldn't we be salesgirls even without wearing those clothes? What do you mean we?
分かってないな、タイガー。すべては形からなんだよ。魔法少女が可愛い服に変身しなきゃならないみたいにさ。まあそんなこんなで、タイガの可愛い相棒、そろそろ出てきなさい。今からお店の前にラムネを売るための屋台を組むんだ。それを一緒に手伝ってくれないかな。
嫌だ。
Her ears retracted at all. Now only their tips were visible.
この服、私には似合わない。ブカブカだし、フリフリだし。騙されたんだ。 だから嫌だ。やっぱりやめる。お祭りなんて勝手にやってればいい。私は部屋で眠ってる。知らんぷりだよ。
そっか。そんなに自分の可愛さに自信があるのか。
どうしてそうなる？
Her ears were perked up. It was a sign of her displeasure, or perhaps a hint of anger.
そんなこと誰も言ってないのに。
恥ずかしがれば恥ずかしがるだけ逆に自信があるんじゃないかと勘ぐられても無理はないかなと思うけどな。
理屈がおかしい。
そっかな。少なくとも私はそう思っちゃうけどな。だってそうだろう。そんなに嫌がるのに、じゃあどうしてそれに着替えたんだ？それはあれだろう。ここにいる誰かに見てもらいたかったんだろう。
Asai-san gave me a teasing look.
私がこの服着れば誰かが可愛いと言って褒めてくれるんじゃないかと、そう言ったからで。
The door was flung open.
違う。
Ah, that's so cute, Kuro. It's not bad. Kuro appeared, giving me a displeased glare.
断じて違う。
Kuro repeated it forcefully. She was wearing a cute outfit, different from her usual and different from Haru's too. Flowy, frilly. What's frilly again? God damn it, it's an opening line of Subahime. I suddenly forgot the word. Anyway. Ah, sugoi. I had to let out a cry of surprise. Kuro quickly turned away. Her face was hidden by her long hair, so I couldn't see it well. Kuro mumbled, still facing away.
この服着たのは朝日が私の服を洗濯しちゃったから。これしか着るのがなかったから。だから仕方なくて。
Now that's cope.
ずっと同じ服着てるなんてダメだ。女の子として失格どころの話じゃないよ。一体どこで何をしてるのか知らないけど、ドロドロに汚れてたんだぞ。
知らない。ほっといてほしい。
Imagine that smell.
不潔な子は嫌われるぞ。誰かにも愛想をつかされるかもしれない。それでもいいのかな。
After a long, long silence,
そう。
I don't mind, she said. Kuro said that very, very quietly.
別に誰かに好かれたいから生きてるわけじゃないんだ。嫌われたっていい。だから。
Kuro, that outfit really suits you. I think it's cute. Kuro looked up at me as if by reflex, even though she'd been looking down, avoiding my eyes entirely, ever since she showed herself from the back room. It's certainly frilly and fluffy. I've never seen Kuro like this before. But yeah, I think it looks really good. Asahi-san was right. If such a cute girl was working as a vendor, even the diamond bottles I might have made too many of would probably sell out in no time. Kuro looked down again, and then she said quietly,
タイガ、騙されてはいけない。
Damasareta? By what?
いろいろ。
Iro-iro?
いろいろだよ。
Sokka. Iro-iro, huh? Kuro nodded her head. Then she jogged out of the shop, with Asahi-san presumably to prepare the stall.
確かにそうだね。すごくかわいい。
Is that Toya? Yeah, it is Toya. Haru nodded repeatedly, deeply convinced.
すっごくよく似合ってたよね。これで商売繁盛間違いなしだよね。ってあれ
Haru seemed to notice something then. She made a startled expression. And then she whispered to Toya, who had appeared beside her at some point.
ねえトウヤおかしいよね。トウヤも私もほら可愛い服に着替えたのになんだか大河君の扱いに差があるような気がするよ。気のせいかな。気のせいだよね。はるちゃん
Toya gently smiled at Haru.
はるちゃんは可愛いよ。すごく可愛いって私は思うな。そうかな。そうだよ。ねえはるちゃん私たちももっともっと褒めてもらえる人生だったらよかったね。
So, Haru-chan, Genki dashi, okay? I said, for some reason with eyes that looked like I was pitying a poor child.
急にトウヤが年上のお姉ちゃんみたいに思えてきちゃったよ。
The two of them were fidgeting. No. Yeah. You're both kawaii. Seriously.
はあへえ
Gomen. No. Seriously. Faced with their two resentful gazes, I instantly turned my back. The Yoru no Haru was a huge success. The nego decorating the Yoru on this day were brimming with enthusiasm compared to the usual Yoru no Kuni events. The kokoro of the Ninyan who came to dream in the Yoru no Kuni also often broke into smiles at the lively festival scenery. It must have been able to discard more of the akumu that tormented their hearts into the Yoru no Kuni than usual. The many bottles we all prepared and sold didn't quite sell out, but only a few remained. It could be said that the sales were excellent. The hearts who bought ramune all seemed to have somewhat peaceful expressions. Tonight, they're sure to have very good dreams. However, if you ask if everything went well with the Yoru no Haru, that's not the case.
桜の木咲かなかったね。
Haru said quietly. We were in the middle of cleaning up the stall
お
together.
祭りもそろそろ終わっちゃうけど今年もダメだったってことになるのかな。
Beyond her gaze was the academy, and a huge sakura standing as it nestled beside it, still stood in silence.
不思議だね。
What is?
夢の外で咲いてる桜の木は夜の国でも咲いてるんだなって。
Even if the old academy sakura didn't bloom, the town's young sakura trees were all in full bloom. That scenery was almost the same inside and out. Was there some kind of correlation, or was it purely coincidence? Haru's question was likely along those lines. The trees and flowers don't dream, you see. They can't distinguish between reality and dreams, so...
夢の中でも外でも花は咲くし花は枯れる。
So basically, the sakura trees exist both in both states of the world. The Yoru and the Tayo. Tayo no Jikan. Perhaps. The seasonal omatsuri created by the Nego to welcome Haru to this town. The Yoru no Haru. The whole town was filled with the color of the sakura, filled with the sweet fragrance. But this year too, The Neko's kibble seemed unlikely to be fulfilled. That Sakura remained unbloomed. For some reason, I couldn't choose my next words. The two of us just gazed at the Yoru no Kuni. I knew we probably had to talk to each other, but how should I bring it up?
あのね、大河くん。
I replied, Nani? I was a little flustered that the silence had suddenly been broken. But what Haru said was a little different from that thing I had expected.
あの日のこと、質問してみてもいいかな。
That day?
あずさ先輩の心とさよならした夜のことだよ。
It hasn't even been a week since then, has it? It feels like ages ago, though.
そうだね。同じくらい、つい昨日のことみたいにも思えるけれど。
As I nodded, Haru continued.
私たち、あずさ先輩と2回もさよならしちゃったけれど。
The first time was 10 years ago, during that yoru.
あの時のまだまだ小さな私たちは、あずさ先輩やともひとくんに何もできなかった。でも、
The second sayonara was about a week ago during that yoru.
でも、あの日は、2度目のあの日は、遠い昔と違って、大河くんがともひとくんを連れてきてくれたから。それは私たちが、大河くんが、あの日よりもずっと大きく強い大人に、ヒーローになれたんだって、ことなんだよね。大人になるってことは、できることが増えることだって誰かが言ってたし。
A hero, huh?
大河くん。
ん？
ともひとくんに才能をあげるため、魔法になったあずさ先輩は、その代償に夜の向こうに旅立たなくちゃいけなくて。
Haru and I ended up seeing Azusa senpai off, but
あの日、あの夜、旅立つあずさ先輩を連れて、一度、時の終着駅の前まで来てたのに、忘れ物を思い出したからって言って、引き返していったよね。その忘れ物が、ともひとくんのことだとは思わなかった。何も教えてくれないんだもん。ちょっと、びっくりだったよ。
yeah. I shake my head and say, no, it's not. That was thanks to Haru.
私？
I could have thought of bringing Tomohiro here by myself. Haru, don't you remember? You kept saying it, right?
私、何を言ったのかな。ごめん、よく覚えてなくて。
At first, Haru said this. The person Tomohiro wants to deliver his ongaku to. Isn't it Azusa-senpai? Because Tomohiro-kun said he'd been fighting with the person he wants to deliver the ongaku to this whole time. That kept bothering me. Yeah, because the Azusa he kept fighting all this time was the second Azusa, not the first. If Haru hadn't given me that question, Tomohiro would have completely forgotten about the feelings of his Onesan, who was always by his side. So I never doubted that Tomohiro wished to create a uta that would reach only his Onesan in the Mirai. That was Haru. It's just a guess, but I think you somehow noticed it, even without solid proof. It was like a feeling, a premonition, something like that.
どうかな。ちょっと私を買いかぶりすぎじゃないかな、大河くん。
Haru says with a wry smile. But it's fine, because I want to believe it. My world is that way. Hiragi Haru. You're my hero. So it's fine. I want to keep it that way.
智人くんの歌は届いた。
Haru says,
未来へ思いを届けるのにはまだまだ時間がかかるかもしれない。でも今智人くんが一番気持ちを届けたかった誰かにはきっと届いた。
Alright.
だからきっと大成功だよね。
That's right. I nod and smile. Even though we got a week of suspension, it was a huge success.
そうだね。私たちすっかり問題児になっちゃったね。
Haru gives a wee smile. In a small voice, she said, Do you remember?
今回の春の学園祭頑張るからいっぱいいっぱい頑張って、もしも大成功できたなら。
It was a yaksuku, right? Haru says.
大河くんが私の夢を叶えてくれるって。
She reaches out her hand to me.
大河くんが私の魔法を使って私の夢を叶えてくれるって約束してくれたよね。
Yeah, that's right. I remember. I stare at the outstretched hand. First.
大河くん？
Nah, Haru.
何？
To start, I'd like you to tell me just a little. What kind of thing is your yume? Your maho? Your kibo? I definitely made a promise with yaksuku with you that if we work hard, and made the school Gakuen Sai a huge success. Next, we'd use Haru's maho. But you see, whether the Gakuen Sai succeed or not, I always intended to use Haru's maho someday. But first, you must tell me, Haru. Gomen. It must be hard, but I want to understand what it is before I permit your maho. Because that's my role. I want to fulfill my duty. As I said that.
私の夢はあの桜だよ。
Haru suddenly looked up at the Yozara.
あの桜をずっと枯れたままの桜の木を満開に咲かせたい。それが私の夢なんだよ。
Isn't that just basically what Nahato did to Chiwa? Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. The sakura in full bloom. Why is that? Why did you come here to have such a yume, Haru?
それは。
At that, Haru fell silent, with a somewhat complicated smile still on her face. Is there something she can't tell me? Just as Nohito couldn't actively confide in us about his feelings for his Onesan. She's right. Having special feelings for one's own Onesan. Yeah, no matter the person. And wasn't something a stranger should normally intrude upon. If Haru had similar circumstances to Tomohito.
大河。
Hmm? Hmm? I felt my clothes being tugged from behind. I turned around. Toya was there, tilting her head and looking up at me. What is it? Is something wrong?
ううん。はるちゃん、どうしたの？大丈夫。ありがとう。大丈夫。ちょっとだけ考え事してたんだよ。
Haru had flashed a smile at Toya, who was looking up at me worriedly. But Toya probably wasn't convinced.
ねえ、本当に大丈夫？もしかして大河に意地悪なことされちゃったの？
My evaluation in Toya's mind somehow bothered me, but I've been almost forcibly trying to pry out Haru's Yume and Maho and such. And since what Toya said wasn't entirely wrong, I couldn't argue. So I rummaged through my pants pocket and said, Toya, I'll give you something good.
いいもの？
She narrowed her eyes, a look of suspicion. To that Toya, I held out a 500 yen coin. This is the allowance, disguised as a part-time pay that I got from Asai-san for the last job. What's left of it? Sumari, it was all the money I had right now.
この前のって
Remember? We saw off this stuffed animal girl together, didn't we?
ずるい。私はお小遣いもらってないのに。お姉ちゃんは大河にばっかり甘々なんだから。
Now. Mama, don't say that. I'm entrusting this 500 coin to you. So, hey, could you buy 3 drinks you like from that vending machine over there? It's kind of strange that there's a vending machine even in the Yoru, though,
大河、
she said with a sulky face.
私のことが、この妹のことが邪魔だから、甘いジュースでここを離れさせる気だね。
Toya, so very smart.
でも、いいよ。はるちゃんと何かお話あるんでしょ？大河の言うこと聞いてあげる。ジュース買ってくるよ。
Truly smart. But she looked up at me again and tilted her
あ
head.
のね、大河、
Huh? Nani, Toya?
シュワシュワのジュース買ってもいい？
Shua?
炭酸のやつ。
Tansan? Like cola?
さ
I guess so, huh? Is Asai-san's ramen not good enough?
あ、いいんだけれど。お姉ちゃん、ラムネしか作らないし、それにお姉ちゃんの作る炭酸以外は炭酸強くて体に悪いって、骨が溶けちゃうからダメだぞって変なこと言うんだもん。
I mean, you can clean things with Coke if you're so desperate to demonstrate something about those. She sounds like a Obacha-san, Asai-san.
そうだよ。大河もそう思うよね。
Toya was pouting.
お外ではいっつもオレンジジュースとかしか買ってくれないんだもん。ちょっと違う味の炭酸飲んでみたい。だからいいかなって。
Mochiron. It's Heki.
やったー。
I'll give you the change.
進呈？
It means you can put it in your wallet. That's pocket money, my little lady.
本当？いいの？
Mochiron. Not. Dakedo, Toya. Kite. If some strange old man offers you pocket money to come with him, you absolutely must not go with him, okay?
分かってるよ。
She was speaking with a full smile. Then, that's fine. I shall present this to you again. It's a Himitsu from Asai-san, okay?
わーい！大河大好き！
She jumped up and down. Overjoyed, her ears perked up like a Neko's. Toya is smart and cute.
大河はちょろいよね。
And sometimes a little cheeky. She pattered off to the vending machine. Jihanki. Watching Toya's back as she went. Now, let's go. I took Haru's hand.
行くってどこに？
Doko ni? To make your yume come true, Haru. I looked up in the direction of the academy. Or rather, the building that had now transformed into the terminal station at the time. While our troublesome little lady numbs her small brain with a super sweet carbonated drink. Come on, quickly.
もうそんなこと言って東野にバレても知らないよ。
Pulling Haru's hand, who was giving a wry smile, I ran to the Yoru. Maho Shoujo. Wait, I'll be right back really quick. I need to check something on my heater. Okay. I'm back. I think I really want to buy a kotatsu because god damn, it's so cold right now. Holy shit. Anyway. Fucking negative things for some reason. Anyway. Maho Shoujo. I hate this word. No matter how much time passes, no matter how dazzling she dresses up, I just can't see her as a symbol of Kibo. Even so, I decided to use her Maho, Hiragi Haru. She's the hero I once secretly, faintly admired. The Maho she seeks. It will surely lead her, or everyone involved with her, to a happy ending. It has to. Nah, Haru. Haru's Saigo no Maho is to make those sakura bloom. I haven't been told yet what kind of yume will come true by doing so, but I decided to believe in your feelings. The rest is up to you. Haru, will you believe in me? Relationship is the kagi to our Maho. The closer our hearts are, the more effectively Maho can be used. When I told her that, Haru said,
私たちの関係はまだまだ昔のまま幼なじみのままだけど今の私たちの関係性で私はうまく大河君の魔法になれるかな
Damn, just same as before, not even like closer than that. Making those sakura bloom surely can't be achieved with simple Maho. That's why a stronger relationship is needed. Even if those sakura, that tree and bloom for ages, could bloom in the Yoru, it would still be a fleeting yume. Even if they bloom in the Yoru, those hana won't sprout in the real world. Haru, I want the sakura to bloom not just in the Yoru, but fully outside. That's why you want my permission, right? Permission to take Maho outside the Yoru. Then, ja, all the more reason, whether in reality or in a yume, to make the hana bloom, you still need a Maho. And a relationship commensurate with it. How about we do something we shouldn't?
いけないこと
What did you mean? Like that? Yeah, you're worried if we can properly use Maho with our current relationship. If that's the case, we just need to get closer than we are now, right? What?
そうかも
I've heard something.
うん何を
The best way to get closer to someone to someone you want to be friends with is to do something you shouldn't together. I'm like some gaslight thing. And then don't tell anyone. Share a secret just between the two of you. That's the quickest way to become close.
なんだかそれってあんまり信じちゃいけないタイプの噂だって思うな
It's so suspicious. Uwasa. Huh. Yeah, maybe so.
でも面白そうではあるよね
Oh, he's in. We shared a small laugh.
だったら大河君今夜の私たちはどんないけないことするのかな
I thought for a moment, then spoke. The Sakura, maybe. First, we'll make those Sakura bloom within the Yoru. A one-night only full bloom. Just that alone. I bet the town's Neko will be in a huge panic. Asai-san and Toya too, wondering what happened. We'll secretly watch them from the shadows, laughing together. Yeah, this is a supremely bad thing. It's bad, but it won't hurt anyone. I think it's a bad thing that's at a forgivable level. What do you think? Even if it's within the Yoru, where everything I imagine can come true, making the Sakura bloom still wouldn't be easy. If it were easy to accomplish, someone would have already done it. But if I can borrow the power of that girl who was Tokubetsu 10 years ago, then it should be achievable.
確かにそうかもだね
And at the same time, if we could make the Sakura bloom fully even outside the Yoru. At the end of the tiny prank, the distance between our hearts shortened like that.
朝日さんや東也だけじゃなくって、千和ちゃんや日和ちゃん、そして智人くんたちもいっぱい驚かせられちゃうかもしれないね。
Surprisingly, everyone, no matter what it is, just imagining it sounds fun. Such a mischievous spirit sprouts within me. Huh. Interesting. So, this is a very interesting looking room. Why is there a record player and there's a chair? And this is a very specific looking room. Huh. We climbed the clock tower and arrived at that place. This is the closest place to those sakura in this town, but I quietly looked around. Intentionally lowering my voice, I spoke. We completely ignored the no entry sign and climbed up here, huh?
そうだね。ドキドキするよね。
It's a very interesting looking room. What about this one? How would you rate its bad thing level? Bad thing level? Sounds like... When I asked that Haru closed her arms, deep in thought and...
ギリギリでセーフかな。
Good safe.
いけないことだけど、誰も傷つけていないよね。
She said that with a wry smile. Terminal station at time. The top floor of the clock tower. Its control room. Outside the window, the scenery of the Yoru stretched out. And in the sky, the sakura wooden blooms stretched its branches as wide as they could go. The Yoru no Kuni visible from here. The sight always brings back memories. No matter what, I still can't bring myself to like Maho Shoujo. But it's different from that time now. Now, I'm not being led by a girl. I led the girl by the hand and came here like this.
大河くん、大丈夫？
They're not gonna comment with a special looking room because that's a very unusual setup. And I mean, why is there one chair and table there? Who waits there? Who sits there? Huh.
ぼーっとしてたから、顔色も悪いよ。
Are you feeling sick? Are you alright? Haru was constantly worrying about me. Haru, I came here to grant your Yume this time, yet here you are, worrying about me first. Unlike me, who always gets overwhelmed by my own problems. What kind of maho could you possess? I want to make these sakura bloom fully. And as a result, what will a girl named Hiragi Haru gain? My curiosity is simply endless. I want to see that Mirai. For that, we'll literally need mental preparation from both sides, I suppose. Haru,
何？
I want you to come here. I held up my hand. My hidari de, imbued with the power of the Yoru. It's sudden, but let's try it. I want to use your maho now. How about we make those sakura bloom together? That's your yume, isn't it? Right? Isn't it, Haru? Haru took my hand again.
二人で一緒に。
Huh?
立ち入り禁止の場所に侵入しちゃう。そしてあの桜を今から一緒に咲かせてみんなを驚かせてやるんだって、そんなドキドキするような悪いことしようとしてる。
That's right. So tonight, we'll surely become even closer than we've ever been. And once we make those sakura bloom, we'll become even better friends from now on. Because we're going to do something a little naughty? Really? You call this naughty? Anyway, a little naughty together and share a secret. That's our relationship. Surely Maho will reside there. Yes, I believe it. I closed my eyelids to make her my Maho. I imagined the landscape of sakura in full bloom. I tried to superimpose that thought I envisioned onto Haru, who's beside me. Hiragi Haru, the girl who was once special. 10 years ago within the Yoru, she herself became the Maho, used by the Yoru no Mahotsukai. The Maho itself is in existence with an independent will. Maho in the form of a girl, thus a Maho Shoujo. I know there are those who, because of this structure, see them only as tools. I hear that the Yoru no Mahotsukai are like that, except for Asahi-san, especially those who live in the Yoru of other towns. I was raised by Asahi Hinokai Asahi, the Mahotsukai of this town. Of course, I wouldn't treat her or them like tools otherwise. Maho wouldn't properly function powerfully. That's Asahi-san's way of thinking. Because for our Maho, relationships are the kagi. That's why, intending to be considerate, I told Haru, not I'll use you, but I want to use your Maho. But... Huh? What? My Suzoruku. The scene I wished for should have been envisioned without a problem, yet the hana aren't blooming, huh? The branches that looked up at the control room window showed no change. That meant Haru's heart and mind hadn't connected properly. Maybe we still haven't done enough bad things together, huh? I said that playfully. I look at Haru beside me. Haru? But Haru remained silent, looking down, just as I was about to ask if something was wrong.
ね、大河君。
Haru said, her voice sounding apologetic.
こんなこと言うの変かもしれないけれど、ずっと気になっていたことがあるんだよ。
Something you've been wondering about? For a long time?
うん、10年前からずっとだよ。その気になってることが私の胸の中に今もあるから、だからそれが魔法の邪魔になってるんじゃないかなって。だけど私勇気がなくて、どうしても今まで大河君に聞けなかった。
That is... what is it? After a brief silence, Haru answered.
あの子のことなんだけど。
That girl?
大河君の大切なあの子だよ。
Taisetsuna? When she said that, only one person came to my mind. You mean Kuro?
そうだね。
Is something wrong with Kuro?
ね。
Suddenly she seemed hesitant to speak. Her gaze drifted aimlessly. It wasn't that I was trying to press Haru for answers, but I forced her to smile and spoke. Gomen, Haru. Shojiki, there's a lot about Kuro I don't understand either, even though we've been together since we were little. It's strange, isn't it? I laughed, adding that Kuro was secretive, just as she always was. Besides, lately, she hasn't been talking to me directly much either. So unless you can ask Kuro herself, I might not be able to answer much about her.
平気だと思う。
Haru shook her head, trembling slightly.
確かに私はあの子のこと、クロちゃんのことで大河君に教えてもらいたいって思ってるけど。
Kind of obvious what she wanted to actually ask him. What do you think about her?
でも私の欲しい答えはクロちゃんよりも大河君の方がよくわかってるはずで。
Showing a slight detour in her explanation, she continued.
だから思い切って聞かせてもらうね、大河君。今の機会を逃したら多分一生聞けないって思うし。
The rest of your life?
そうだね。
Haru gently touched her chest. Then she lowered her gaze and said,
やっぱりこの胸のモヤモヤが魔法が上手に働かない原因だって思うから。
After biting her lip for a moment, she spoke.
大河君。
Feeling slightly pressured, I nodded.
大河君はそのね、
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening closely. So, please calm down and talk. When I answered, Haru nodded deeply once and spoke.
クロちゃんのことが大河くんは好きなのかなって。
Huh? I just stared blankly, tilting my head. Me? Who? And how?
だから大河くんはクロちゃんのことどう思ってるのかな。好きなのは分かってるよ。ただその好きが家族としてお友達としてそれとも
Haru tightly gripped the hem of her skirt.
それとも女の子として大好きなのか。それは教えてほしくって。ダメかな。
No, it's not that. It's bad. It's not, but I'm confused. More than Haru's sudden question. It's about how much more shaken I am by that question than I imagine. How do I truly feel about Kuro? I asked myself that too. The answer should have been simple, yet for some reason I couldn't respond immediately. At my silence, Haru showed a complicated smile.
そっか。やっぱりそうなんだね。
Man, Haru already got NTR in her own damn route. Holy shit. It really is like that.
私だけじゃない。多分みんなも心のどこかで気づいてるんじゃないかと思う。大河くんにとってクロちゃんは特別なんだって。
What does that mean?
智人くんがお姉さんのこと特別に思ってるのをなんとなくみんなが分かってたみたいに。
No, that's not it. That's not what I wanted to ask. What in the world is the connection between that and this? That's what I wanted to ask. How could knowing how I feel about Kuro relate to Haru's magic and her Maho and Nagai? I could only wonder about that connection. My head is a little confused.
大河くん、その難しい顔しないでほしいな。
Haru said with a smile.
別に大河くんがクロちゃんのこと大好きでも大河くんのその気持ちをみんなに言いふらしたりはしないよ。絶対。
I know. I know you would never do such a thing like that, Haru. Demo. What bothers me is that smile Haru's wearing right now. It was a fraying expression. I know what that face means. It's the expression she always shows when she's with anyone but me. Bright, full of energy, trying her best, pretending to be fine even when with slightly reckless things. It's a kind of existence she shaped as if to meet everyone's expectations. The trigger for it was simple. Once she had put on an act like that, that was the end. She could no longer break down the persona. Persona! A somewhat cute Showa. But only in front of me, she didn't put on an act. For some reason, she only told me about the feelings in her chest that always throb with anxiety and tension, that weakness of hers. And yet...
大河くんがクロちゃんのことをどう思ってるのか、大河くんが私にだけ秘密を打ち明けてくれたなら、私の胸のモヤモヤも綺麗に晴れてくれると思う。
It's a smile. Where in this topic, the element that makes her do that is hidden. I can't even imagine right now, but... yeah, that's not it. It's different. It's more like a vague prediction or perhaps a premonition. That kind of realization is there. In the many stories I've gathered so far, only overly dense Shushinkos have always left my heart feeling hazy and frustrated. I get it. He's drawing his experience from reading the literature, the sacred texts. Wait a second, I've seen this pattern before in my life. Just like in the simulations. Isn't this that kind of scenery? No. Am I being too self-conscious? I still have that kind of doubt. Is this atmosphere happening because Haru thinks me as Tokubetsu? I had ended up thinking that. If I were wrong, then It would be a matter of how much confidence I truly have in myself, and I wouldn't just be embarrassing anyone. I feel like I wouldn't be able to look at Haru in the face directly ever again, but Haru continued with her usual smile.
秘密を共有し合うと今よりずっと仲良くなれるんだよね。そうすれば魔法はもっと上手に使える。だから大河くんの秘密を教えてもらえたらなって思って。
Because Haru put on an act and smiled, as if thinking it might be a bit too forced. 俺は Seriously, I, who absolutely never want to be a dancer. I've seen the simulations before. I know the scene.
ごめんね。秘密を共有って言っても大河くんが言ってたのはこういうことじゃないんだってわかるけど、変なお願いしてごめん。めんどくさくてごめんなさい。でもそうすればやっと私はちゃんと大河くんの魔法になれるんじゃないかって予感があるのは本当で。
好きだ。好きや。
そっか。
Alright.
やっぱりそうだったんだね。そうだと思ってた。思ってた通りだなんて、こんなの秘密でもなんでもないのかもね。
She's misunderstanding. She's understanding that as if he's saying he loves Kura. ごめん。
どうして謝るの大河くん。
ごめん、Haru. You know I...
やめてよ大河くん。何か言ってよ。じゃないと変だよ。おかしいな。私なんだかとっても悲しい気分になっちゃうよ。
Haru? Because you're the one who always wears that usual smile. Because I'm not just dense, but overly self-conscious. I thought I wanted to break that kind of smile of yours. 好きよ, Haru. I think she finally understands. Haru stared blankly, her eyes wide. Hiragi Haru.
はい。
You probably don't know.
何
Alright. You are my hero, Haru. Haru looked at me with her eyes wide.
だ
Yeah, that's right. I smiled and said, but I don't want you to misunderstand. Always smiling, full of energy, you help Tomohito give your all to things you're not good at. You can never ignore someone in trouble. That impression everyone but me probably has of you. And that part of you, of course. I don't dislike it, but just one word from that kind of you. The me from 10 years ago was still so small back then, was certainly saved. Back then, you gave me the words I wanted most. How reassuring that felt. But you know, at some point, Haru started showing only me a different side of herself that she shows everyone else. People admire seeing you. People gain empathy for those who try to stand up even if that's not the case. Such words, which I'd heard just recently, suddenly came back to me. Even heroes are probably the same. In truth, your heart is full of endless worries and anxieties. Always nervous or a little scared. Your heart pounds and pounds, aching and struggling. Yet you're trying your best not to show a sign in front of many people. It is precisely in that figure of you that I felt a stronger empathy, I think. 10 years ago, and now too. What I don't want you to misunderstand is that I fell in love with Haru because you're that way, I think. I nodded and said, Haru, that's no good.
ダメ
That you, even in front of me, are wearing that kind of smile. It might sound selfish, but I really don't like that. That's why I go in, Haru. Because I want to keep hoping that you might feel the same way as me. Because I don't want to be just a clueless Shujinko. That's protagonist. Precisely because of that, I want to break that smile of yours. Sukiyo, Haru. Putting myself kibo into it, I'll say it again and again. I like you. I finally realized these feelings of mine just now. At this yoru. At this very moment when Haru's smile, the one I like, vanished. I want to get back the you I love so much. I can't help but wish for it. I've seen countless heroes miss opportunities time and time again, simply because they were so dense. This method I chosen might not be the right one. You might also say it's the result of nothing but my foolish self-consciousness growing excessively. But that's not it, Haru. Right now, it's you, and no one else. I cherish you. It was anxiety that I might lose your smile. Haru, that made me realize it now. So I'll say it again and again. If there's even a slight chance I can get back my precious smile, then again and again. Haru? Ski. It's you, and no one else, Haru. Ski. Always thought it, somewhere deep down, that I wish I could be like you. Even if you accidentally complain, even if you act timid, even then, you never say, it's hopeless. I admire that about you. That admiration. It's now. Just now, this very moment, it changed to, like, I feel that way.
気がするだけなの?
She looks up at me anxiously. It was already completely Haru's usual face to me. Should I be relieved by that? Should I be happy about it? Though it's a rather delicate feeling. Yokatta. It's the usual Haru. Anyway, for now, I just wanted to nod like that. I thought Haru would never again complain or show a timid side in front of me. I imagined that I wouldn't be able to talk face to face to you, with the usual you like this anymore. And then I was scared. I felt incredibly lonely.
こんな一瞬で?
That's right. It's certainly true. It's sudden, far too sudden. But the anxiety and worry that you might go somewhere far away again. I hated my then self, the selfishness I felt, wanting to keep you close. All of that was myself, appearing and disappearing in an instant. And I'm sorry, Haru. Haru. So we started talking about Kuro, and then you smiled like that, so I might have gotten a little annoyed, thinking Kuro has nothing to do with this right now. What was the true nature of these feelings that sprouted then? When I thought that, when I searched deep within my own heart, I see. Hiragi Haru, I might like you. I realized that in you. I'm so confused. He's been saying he likes her so many times already. I can't tell if it's one of those, it doesn't translate well, so it's just translated as I like you, but in Japanese it might be something else. You know, like, I don't know, man.
やっぱりかもなんだね.
But something feels so uneasy about this scene, even though he already straight up told her he likes her, you know? Something doesn't feel right. Yeah, for now it's still. I nodded and replied. But I also feel that these feelings are enough for now to use Haru's maho.
私の魔法?
If Haru accepts my feelings though.
なんだかずるい言い方だね。それ。
Honestly, something really feels wrong. Something doesn't feel right. Haru gave a real smile. Ah, yeah, exactly. I nodded too. Nah, Haru.
何かな、大河君。
I want to become closer with Haru from now on. Until I came here, I wanted to do things we couldn't and be more than Osana Najimi. But now I wish to become something even more than that. If my feelings can be granted, then perhaps tonight. I'm even hoping I might be able to grant Haru's wish right away. I think I might be able to make those sakura bloom. And what Haru would gain as a result. And that I, too, might be able to learn about it. I harbor such expectations. Yeah, something feels wrong. I don't like it. Something really feels wrong. Haru, do you dislike me? Was this just me being overly self-conscious after all? Would it have been better if I remained oblivious? I like what they're doing here. There was that moment, you know, the pattern showed up, like Even he recognized that. Oh man, I'm acting like a dense Shijinko. And then after that scene, you'd expect something, something amazing would be happening. But right now, it feels so confusing. Like there's something not right.
そんなこと
She lifts her head. Our eyes meet with start.
ないと
Soka. That's good, really. Then I want you to take this hand. I reach out my hand to Haru. My hidaride. It's the palm meant to turn the shoujo, who was once Tokubetsu into Maho. If Haru takes this hand, by her own will, then the distance between our hearts will surely become much closer than before. I want to believe that. Haru was staring at my outstretched hand. Oh man, she did take it immediately. I know something's wrong. It was for a short while. She did so for just a brief moment, but cautiously Haru touched my hand. That instant. Haru is enveloped in a dazzling light.
何これ
Why is her Maho Shoujo outfit her mature version of Maho Shoujo outfit is still I think it's literally the same as her outfit from 10 years ago. Remember she was in Hiyori's outfit looks different than what they looked like 10 years ago. But here she looks exactly the same. It's making me wonder something. The light dissipates, and there it was, fluffy and frilly. Haru adorned in a cute glittering outfit. A Maho Shoujo outfit. Haru was wearing something that could easily be called that. Cute, beautiful, mesmerizing. It should be. Normally that is. I hate Maho Shoujo. Weird. This is weird without context. Doshite. That form. It's just like... No. I shook my head and forced a smile. A so-called transformation. Back then, Haru and the others wore Asahi-san's handmade outfits and fought Badri Akumu, right? I tried to base this on those clothes.
どうしてひどいよ大河君
Yeah, you could have at least upgraded their Maho Shoujo outfit. Because in the other rounds, he did that. He did upgrade their outfit. But for Haru, it's literally the same from 10 years ago. Haru was bleeding, her eyes teary.
魔法少女だなんてそんなの許されるのは中学生までがギリギリだよ
What do you mean? Meguka was high school. Meguka was high school when she became a Maho Shoujo.
それなのにこんな年でこんな可愛い服を着させるだなんてしかもこれで2度目だよ
A second time?
アイドルの次は魔法少女
Oh, you're, Tashikani. No, I wasn't the one who made her wear that one.
大河君ひどい
And the skirt's too short, Haru said, tugging tightly at her hem.
アイドルの衣装の時よりもっと短くなってる気がするよ
No, Asaya-san said that to use a girl's maho here, it has to be done that way. She made such troublesome rules, so this is the remnant of that. Gomen. I can't master the Yoro enough to rewrite Kakikairu, the rules. Oh, for heaven's sake. I shook my head. Playfully, but I'm glad.
何も良くないよ
No, that's not it. The fact that you could transform successfully means with a flutter. A single petal drifted down between us. Softly. Softly. Their numbers grew. We looked up out the window.
すごい。
They were in full bloom.
すごいよ、大河くん。これ、想像以上だよ。
The dazzling city of Yoru. On the branches spreading to cover its sky, flowers had begun to bloom in full. Haru simply gazed at the sight. Haru? Damn, that outfit, holy shit. I allow it. Given our relationship now, there's no problem. It's fine. So Haru can use Maho even outside Yoru. So you can use the Saigo no Maho. I still feel there's something wrong, man. I really do. There's something not right. The Ozara, beginning to take on color. I felt that Sakura outside was also changing color in the same way. Haru, will your Yume come true with this? Haru?
ありがとう、大河くん。本当に。
With a slight tremor in her voice, Haru smiled at me.
これで、私の夢は、叶ったよ。
Damn. Those Harus, holy shit, I get, it's hard to ignore. I don't need any more than this. Everything from now on would be gentle and soft, like these Sakura, fulfilling more than I ever wished for. Haru whispered that ever so softly.
あとは明日、夜の中でも外ででも、満開に咲いた桜を見て、みんながどんな風に驚いてくれるか、楽しみだね。
あ、
そんないけないことを考えちゃう私たちだから、もっと、これからもっと、仲良くなれるよね。
Yeah, that's right, I'm sure of it. Haru squeezed my hand, still intertwined with hers, with all her strength. I squeezed her hand back. Your Yume, which you said had come true. What that was like. Will you tell me about it someday?
必ず。
Haru said, with a wide smile blooming on her face.
ごめんね、大河くん。そして、ありがとう。私の魔法に許可をくれて。今は上手な言葉が思いつかないけれど、いつか必ず大河くんに聞いてほしいよ。私の夢のお話を。
Fragments of Haru that won't stop falling. Suddenly our eyes met. Then Haru smiled. Without a word, she closed her eyes. For just a fleeting moment, I thought I saw someone's profile flash across my mind, but Gomen. But I pretended not to notice it. I kissed Haru. What? He just NTR'd someone in his mind? You just know. You just never. Oh shit! Holy shit! Holy shit, man. But seriously. I kissed Haru. It was an awkward kiss, as if we were trying to gauge the distance between us, unsure how to touch each other. I let go of her lips. Then I noticed Haru's eyes were teary. Oh man, did you not like it?
違うよ。ただ、ね。
Maybe this is better. I'm still figuring out our thumbnail for tonight. We'll see. We might get lucky with the CGs tonight. It's still 9 p.m. We have a lot of time today.
ただ、こんな日が本当に来るなんて嬉しくて。
Haru smiled shyly.
すごく嬉しくて、幸せすぎて、ちょっと泣けてきちゃった。
Shiawase, huh? I said, deeply moved. Yeah, I feel that way too, but isn't that a little, just a little, but a bit much? I laughed playfully.
そうだよね。私、変なのかも。
Haru's face also softened. I kiss her again. My own words. That childhood friends rarely become that kind of relationship. Felt like they were pointing at me, making my heart tickle. But I couldn't stop the urge to pull Haru even closer. Yo! With our lips still joined, I placed my hand on Haru's chest. Haru trembled with a jolt. My feelings for Haru were overwhelming, and I touched her without thinking. I might take note. I'm thinking about like whether I should cut this or not. Something like this, right after confessing. Maybe I rushed things too much. I should have taken things more slowly.
大河くん、この服のままするの？
Haru said, her cheeks bright red in a small voice.
その、キスだけじゃないこと、今から私たちするんだよね、きっと。
Go man. That was my intention.
謝らないで。私も大河くんとそういうことしたいっていうか。
Haru said, her gaze wandering.
だから、それはいいんだけどね。いいんだよ、本当に。
I see. That's fine then. I might have rushed things a bit too much. I might have made you uncomfortable, Haru. That's what I was worried about. So I was reflecting on it a little.
ちょっとだけなんだ。
Yeah, that's right. ちょっとだけ. We both broke into a small, almost bursting smile.
さっき言いたかったのはね。
ん？
この服のままキスだけじゃないことするの恥ずかしい。そう言いたかったの。
Oh, really?
そうだよ。
だって、you know, Haru said fidgeting.
なんだかそんなの変態さんっぽいよ。それでドキドキしちゃってる私もちょっと変なのかもね。
Wait, did I already screenshot this one? I'm still thinking about like Jesus Christ. The Harus, man. Haru gave a re-smile. I pulled Haru closer and kissed her again. I touched Haru's chest once more, and this time harder than before. I sank my fingertips into Haru's large chest. Again and again, I confirmed the sensation of her chest.
やだ、タイガーくん。おっぱいばかり。
Did you dislike it? I asked without stopping the movement of my hands.
嫌じゃないけど。
Haru said, grinning as if ticklish.
ただね。
ん？
もっと大河くん、いろいろいっぱい触ってほしくて。
Now that's base. Other things?
そう。胸ばっかりじゃなくて、いろいろいっぱい。
そっか。 Iro. I murmured. Oh yeah, welcome back, guys. Asa. Inside the bus, on the way to school. Chiwa, Tomohito, and me. The three of us were on our way to school. Chiwa and Tomohito were chatting lively as a form of greeting. It was the first day back at school since their suspension was lifted. Even Tomohito, who usually just grumbled, "I wish the school would explode. I don't want to go. I want to go home already," had a somewhat cheerful expression. It was also the day after Haru used her maho. It could also be said that it was the first morning since Haru and I became Togobetsu. Last night, after partying with Haru, I was so excited I couldn't sleep very well. Suppressing a yawn, I gazed out the bus window. Sakura petals flowed past like a blizzard. I was simply watching that scene, recalling last night, but...
先輩、どうしたんですか?
Chiwa's face was right in front of me. She was looking up at me with a worried expression.
さっきからずっと黙ってるから、どこか調子が悪いのかなって思いました。
Little did you know he had this best night ever last night. No. I gave my head a little shake. I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with me. Thanks. She will look surprised because he didn't act mean to her. She was expecting him to be mean. What's wrong, Chiwa? You're making a strange face.
先輩、今日調子悪いんですか?
Huh? どうして?
だって先輩が私に素直にありがとうって。
Something weird about it?
変ですよ。すっごく変です。
Chiwa nodded, pausing for a moment, then asked if I had a fever.
それとも先輩、奏先輩は本物の先輩ですか? もしかして昨日までの先輩と違う人?
What are you talking about, Chiwa? That's hurtful. I'm me. Look, see? There's no way there's another senpai as cool as me, right? What's with that guilty until proven innocent? Look, senpai is hurt. Nah. Kite, Chiwa. Besides, I'm always honest with you, aren't I? Aren't I always honest about my urge to be a little mean to her every morning as a greeting? What is it, Tomohito? You got something to say too.
Yeah?
Tomohito tilted his head slightly, but then...
Oh.
He let out a small sound. He pointed outside the moving car window.
かわいい子発見。おい、かわいい子がそこにいたんだが。
I don't need them anymore. What about it?
嘘だろ。
So what about it?
見もしないのかよ。かわいい子。
What's the point in looking? I can't believe it. That's the end of the world. He was looking at me with that face. Kimo. Nah, Tomohito. Are you one of those pathetic guys who thinks if you keep looking at the cute idol girl, she'll eventually become your girlfriend?
おのれ偽物
Ha!
返せ返せよ
Tomohito suddenly started nibbling.
俺の大切な親友をどこにやった
Or are you seriously crying? It's off-putting. Stop it. やめて。
だってさ
Someone as big as you be saying だってさ. I was so proud, thinking you wrote a great song for the festival. My amazing Shinju. But now, everything is ruined, Tomohito.
だって いつもの大河だったら、どこ巨乳だった？すっげえ揉みたい。おい、ちょっと揉ませてもらえるか聞いてこいよって言ってさ、一番に食いついてくるだろ。
Don't fabricate stories. Besides, I don't care for big breasts. I find beauty in modesty and can't get enough of it. That's me. What a liar, considering last night. Although, he did say that to Chiwa as well. Or so I said. Then I suddenly thought of Here we go. I ended up falling silent. And then she was stifled. Her eyes were teary.
ごめんなさい、先輩。
Huh? Why are you apologizing?
私とトア先輩ばっかり話してて、かなで先輩のことちょっと無視してて。だからその仲間外れで怒っちゃって、頭とか心とかそういうのがいつもよりおかしくなっちゃったんじゃないかって。
She was worried about that. She was a cute kohai, kawaii no kohai, saying something silly and rude like that.
ごめんなさい。いつもかなで先輩に意地悪されるから、ちょっとしたことですぐいじめられるから。だからいつものお返しのつもりというか、ただのいたずらのつもりだったんです。それがそんなに傷つくなんて思ってなくて。
You could tell that she was this close to crying. A prank, huh? Let's do something we shouldn't tonight. With those words, Haru and I made the sakura bloom in the yoru. Those sakura that wouldn't bloom. I'm surprised. Odoroita. Even though it was Haru's maho, I hadn't expected those sakura to bloom so easily. I looked at where the bus was headed. It's the academy. Once I climb the slope and pass through the school gate, that sight will come into view. What will Chiwa, Tomohida, and Hiyori think when they see the sakura in full bloom? Will they be as surprised as we planned? And I want to tell everyone that Haru and I have become Tokubetsu. Actually, that's what I really want them to be surprised by. And just as much, I want them to say omedeto. Actually, something good happened. I decided to tell them that first. That's what I thought. That's why I might have been spaced out a bit, because I'm happy about so many things.
いいことですか？
Oh no, Chiwa, don't cover your ears. You're not gonna make it. Yeah, so Chiwa, I'm not angry about anything.
それは
Tomohida says,
それは可愛い子も目に入らなくなるくらいか？
I guess so.
それは先輩、もう私に意地悪しなくてもいいくらいなんですか？
Trying to remember that Soul literally gaslit Chiwa that if a guy's being mean to you, that means he likes her. But if the guy is not teasing her now, it means it's fucking over for her. Yeah, no. I wonder about that. Though it left me with somewhat mixed feelings. Tonikaku, something good happened, so both of you. I have something I want to tell you once we arrive at the academy.
報告？
それっていいことなんだよな。
Yeah, I guess. For us it is.
俺たち
Well, you see. Actually, I want to tell them right away, but I want Hyo-chan to hear it too, so it'll be after we arrive at the academy. Until then, I'd like you to wait just a little longer.
なんだかもったいつけた感じだな。変にドキドキしてくるじゃないか。
俺たち。
Oh no, she won't finally understand. It's fucking over. Muttering softly, she will gaze up at my face. Kao. Chiwa, what's wrong? Is there something on my cowl?
いえ、
She shook her head, trembling slightly. So over.
それって 柊先輩にも関係あることなんですか？
She's aware. Well, obviously, because he didn't say her name. She was said something sharp. Yeah. It involves Haru too.
奏先輩だけじゃなくって柊先輩にもいいことあったってことなんでしょうか？
Man. Women are so sharp, holy shit. Yeah, Tabun. I hope Haru thinks that way too. As I said that, I recall the events of last night once more.
それじゃあまた明日学園で会おうね大河くん。
She's still wearing her Maha Shoujo outfit. At our farewell last night, Haru said that with a smile. I asked Haru if she was going home already. Haru, I thought you were going to stay at the Yume no Nedoko tonight.
そうしたい気持ちは少しいっぱいあるけれど。
You know what? I still have a bad feeling. I seriously have a bad feeling. There's something really doesn't feel right about the confession scene. It's like only Taiga's confessing and Haru's just like passively. I don't know, man. Something doesn't feel right. I feel something's not right. Haru said with an embarrassed smile.
だけど今夜は帰らなきゃって。
I see. But why?
それは
Haru gently tilted her head.
なんとなくかな。施設で待ってる人もいるし。
I still have a weird feeling about Haru. Something doesn't feel right. Nah, Haru. I want to stay with you a little longer.
そう。
Yeah, so I don't want you to go home. Her voice was barely audible. Her face was red, and her eyes were cast down.
おかしいよ、大河君。
Do you think so? What is?
だって今夜はいつもよりずっと積極的っていうか、一緒にいるといつもよりドキドキして大変だよ。
Haru, I realized one more thing tonight.
もう一つ？
When I'm with you, Haru, I feel like I can be more honest than usual for some reason.
そうなの？
Yeah. Everyone has many faces as there are people they interact with. The me I am with superiors. The me I am with friends. The me I am with someone I like. Like this. Which version of myself do I like being? I often find myself thinking that. Why is he bringing this up? I really have a weird feeling, considering, remember that Haru's really good at, like, you know, showing a certain kind of face. Yeah, something really doesn't feel right. Maybe it's just me. Perhaps falling for someone also means you like the self you are when you are with them the most. I can be myself with the person I love. That feels the most comfortable, so I want to be with them as long as possible. That's how it feels. Why did she ... Maybe I'm just overly suspicious. Maybe she's just fighting it. She got embarrassed or something. I, Kanade Taiga, can be honest with when I'm with Hiragi Haru. In front of Haru, I can honestly say what I think without hesitation, even looking into your eyes and saying I want to stay longer.
好きだってためらわず言えちゃうくらい？
Ah, that's right. I love Haru.
そっか。
Haru's face was full of an embarrassed smile, and she nodded.
私もそうだよ。みんなの前では頑張って格好つけなきゃって誰にも求められていないのに勝手に張り切っちゃおうとするけれど、でも大河くんの前だとあなたの隣だと格好つけなくても許してもらえる。大河くんと一緒にいるときは無理をしなくていいって思える。そんな自分でいられるのはとっても心地いいことだって。 感じるよ。
That's why we both want to be together as much as possible. But
今夜はごめんね。帰らなきゃ。
Soka, Wakata. I let go of the hand we have been holding. What should we do? Is it okay if we tell everyone about us tomorrow?
そうだね。隠すようなことでもないし。
I'll be happy if everyone congratulated us. Is it selfish to think that?
どうかな。
She gave a small smile, like a real one, but I really. She's giving that not. There's something that really doesn't feel right. Then Haru pressed her lips together. I asked her if something was wrong. Haru then said with a troubled expression,
シワちゃんになんて言ったらいいかな。絶対気にしないでってチワちゃんは言うだろうけど、少し困るな。
Oh, she's worried about that? Huh? Chiwa? As I tilted my head, wondering what was wrong with Chiwa, Haru pouted.
大河君のそういうところは私あんまり好きじゃないかもだね。やっぱり君は鈍感だよ。人の気持ちをもっと分かってあげてほしいって思うな。
You know the funny thing is like he was able to confess to her because he was self-conscious enough to realize that he was being a dense Shujinko. But then for Chiwa. Well, it was only limited for Haru, I guess. But I didn't quite understand why, but Gomen. I decided to just apologize honestly.
とにかくまた明日だよ。大河君、みんなに私たちのことどんな風に伝えるかドキドキしながら今夜は眠るね。
And so we parted that yoru. Dojiki, I was elated, more than I'd ever expected. Thinking about what was to come, I barely slept last night. I'd made plans for a date with Haru this weekend. I asked where she wanted to go. She replied, anywhere as long as we're together. Then it's the same if we don't go anywhere, I chuckled. It's fine, anywhere as long as we're together. When we're together, the usual world sparkles, surprisingly. That kind of feeling I'm seeing in manga and such was real, I thought, and chuckled a little. When I remembered those exchanges, my cheeks couldn't help but loosen. It's over, Chiwa. It's fucking over. Chiwa was staring up at me again. I hadn't noticed. I cleared my throat with a little Nani, Chiwa. Even as I tried to compose myself, I remembered what Haru had said last night. What should I say to Chiwa-chan?
先輩、
Chiwa spoke first. I felt a slight jolt.
さっきから呼んでるんですけど、何度も。何をそんな気持ち悪い顔してるんですか？
What do you mean, Kyuchi-warui-kao? Huh?
デレデレしたり、ニモニモしたり。
It's over, Chiwa. Was I making a face like that?
してましたよ。ずっとです。
You called me many times, but why?
はい、そうでした。先輩、
Chiwa tugged lightly on the hem of my uniform while looking around the bus.
なんだかちょっと騒がしくないですかって、そう言いたかったんです。
Huh? What do you mean? Noisy?
はい、何かあったのかなって。
She's right. By the time I noticed, the bus interior was starting to buzz. It seems I was so love-struck and grinning that I couldn't even notice the small commotion. The students inside the bus were all looking in the direction the bus was heading, towards the academy. They were clearly concerned about something. That's how it was.
ああ、確かに。どうしたのかな。何？
みんな学園の方を気にしてるみたいですけど、やっぱり何かあったみたいです。全員が、街を歩く人たちもみんな学園の方を見ています。
I looked out the window. On the sidewalk, many people had stopped and were all looking up in one direction. Flower petals dance. It was beyond the window of the moving bus. Each one was more vivid than usual. There were so many. More than usual. So many. Mite. Suddenly I heard someone's voice. It's the sakura. The Gakuin Hall's sakura are blooming.
桜？
He stood on his tiptoes. Tomohito, the tallest among us, tried to look in the direction the bus was heading.
ダメだ。よく見えないな。
The clamor inside the bus was starting to turn into a buzz. For some reason, it felt as if the buzz was even speeding up. The school was overflowing with maho. Pink petals danced and swirled, piling up like winter snow. It must be filled with so many surprises. Would everyone notice the undeniable maho that was there? And would they be surprised? Would they be happy? It was just sakura in full bloom. Nothing more, nothing less. This was just a simple prank, but amidst the spring colors that shouldn't bloom, I had something to tell our friends, something I wanted them to celebrate with us. Because deep down, I felt that from there, our new everyday lives, where we could finally be in a true special relationship, would finally begin. Give me a sec. I want to take a break. I'll probably grab a water. For some reason, I feel so hungry right now. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Damn, I think I had too much break. Jesus, it's already 11:30. What the hell? Arrival. The bus stop in front of the school. Students disembarked one after another, almost scrambling. We too were pushed out by the flow and disembarked. Then,
すごい
as if letting out a sigh,
桃色の天井です。
Chiwa was looking up at the sky. Sakura fluttering down. So many, many petals.
あ、なんだこれ。こんなの初めて見た。
Sakura weren't rare for people living in this town, but that's the school clock tower and the sakura tree standing right beside it. This bloom is different. Those who got off the bus, those who bike, those who walk, everyone stop, looking up at the sky.
行こう。もっと近くで見てみたい。
Tomohito smiled at me and quickly walked away from the bus stop. Chiwa and I followed after him.
伝説は実際に目で見て確認しないと意味がないだろ。
Huh? What was that?
いつだって伝説を目の当たりにした生き証人くらいにはなりたいって思うだろ。伝説の中心人物にはなれないのなら、それを語り継ぐくらいの役割は欲しい。そう思わないか？
As usual, I have no idea what you're trying to say, or rather, weren't you supposed to be the one legends were passed down about?
おお、確かにそうだ。こんな風景、いつかありったけの音楽で飾って歌ってやらなきゃ収まらないよな。
We arrive at the school gates.
これどうなってるの？
Damn, that's really big. Like, it's a really big sakura. Chiwa, standing frozen, murmured that. The school building was. And the academy itself was. Enveloped in the color of a great, great sakura. It was almost identical to the full bloom I saw in the Yoru.
先輩、
Alright. What is it? I replied to Chiwa.
私の記憶違いじゃなければ、昨日は桜咲いていませんでした。
That's right.
たった一晩でこの変わりを。 すごいです。
I look around. That's good. This is Maho. Actually, I've been worried it might scatter all scatter and fall in a single night. But the flowers were still in full bloom. The familiar school building was completely filled with Haru, and the schoolyard, visible from here, was carpeted with still falling petals. A sweet scent enveloped the area, softly fluttering. Spring fragments rained down here ceaselessly. Students stood frozen. Sighs filled the air all around. Nah, Haru, are you watching somewhere? Even just this much is enough for our prank to be a success. There's no meaning to our prank, the two of us. In the first place, this is the result of Haru's wish for Maho. Wanting to surprise everyone a little is mostly just an extra. If I can just adorn our ordinary days with a special surprise, that's enough. After that, Haru would show herself to everyone. I want us to tell everyone. That was all. With just that, everything is enough. Surely Chiwa and Tomohito and Hiyori, who must be somewhere in this academy right now. Everyone will surely say omedeto. That's what I ceaselessly wish for. Shall we go? There's no point standing around here. I urged the two of them, and we entered the schoolyard from the main gate.
ん？あそこ、なんか人が集まってるな。
He pointed. It was one spot near the entrance.
何かあったんでしょうか。みんな立ち止まってますね。
I don't like this. There's no BGM. What's happening? It was exactly where the clock tower was directly overhead. The spot where the sakura canopy was densest. We noticed students gathered there. It's noisy. What is it? It got even noisier after we entered the schoolyard, didn't it? I looked around. The density of people were certainly higher, but...
そうか？騒がしい？
よくわかりませんけど。でも、いつもと違うと言ったら、そうかもしれませんね。
The two of them tilted their heads.
昨日まで枯れていた木に、一晩で花が満開だなんて、誰だって驚きます。いつもよりちょっとくらいは騒がしくもなりますよ、きっと。
Am I the only one who feels this clamor is noisy? Does this mean I'm just getting carried away and giddy? Somehow, I felt like I was something... what was this? I felt like I was something terribly embarrassing? Huh? Anyway, something terribly embarrassing. The noisy schoolyard. My noisy heart. As if to shake off that slightly embarrassing restlessness, I searched for Haru. It's not like we made a yakuza or anything, but I felt like Haru was very close by. I wanted to see her soon. It had only been a few hours since we parted, and yet, to feel this way, I was surprised. I really do like Haru, I realized. With every passing second, it felt like I was becoming more aware of my feelings. I wanted to tell everyone about us soon. My impatience was overwhelming. My heart was pounding. I was thrilled.
おい、タイガ。
Tomohito said,
ちょっとあそこ、見てみろ。
Oh, no, I have a bad premonition. Huh?
なんだか、様子が変じゃないか？
Oh, man. Oh, man. It better be not what I'm thinking. Tomohito's words felt like a signal. In that instant, I noticed that anomaly. No one is looking at the sky. Several anomalies were apparent. First, one thing. The students gathered beneath the clock tower were looking up at the sakura-colored sky ceiling at all. They were looking down. Even though other students were looking up at the beautiful petals overhead as if possessed. Another one. Adult teachers were rushing over. An unsettling atmosphere. I felt like someone let out a faint, high-pitched cry. What is it? What happened? A throb. My chest ached. It felt like a familiar pain, one I had experienced countless times. This is a premonition. A bad premonition piercing my chest. My feet, as I tried to move forward, became unbearably heavy for some reason. The frantic pounding of my heart was beginning to transform into an unwelcome sensation. Why is that? No. I don't want to get close to that group. That's what I thought, but... I spotted a single student standing a little distance from the group I was approaching. A brand new uniform and bag. Hair neatly styled, prepared to dive into a new environment. That presence, composed entirely of new things. Hiragi Haru. Her back was facing me. Haru was also looking down, just like the others. Haru! That's good. For some reason, I felt very relieved. I tried to call out and say Ohayo to her small back.
大河くん。
Haru turns around. My heart skips a beat. Before that expression,
ごめん、大河くん。私、
wait. Why are you saying gomen? What do you mean? Gomen. I can't get a... Oh, never mind. I'll figure this out. Before Haru was that pale expression.
私。
Wait. Did you do something? It was then for the first time that I knew. That I realized. That's right. I have forgotten. Someone said, this world is made of cruel fantasy tales. Happiness comes to pull the rug from under your feet. In the center of the group looking down, I stared at that lying there.
私。ごめん、大河くん。私はあなたに嘘をついた。あなたを騙した。
Wait, what? Is that... huh? Did she die and... What? Huh? What? Huh? What the hell? Behind Haru, who had turned to look at me.
これが私の本当の最後の魔法。
Through the gas in the fallen petals, I could see a pure white palm, a slender fingertips, and then it slowly spread, a color of light, deeper than the petals.
ごめんね。ごめんなさい。こうするしか他になかった。
That was... What? Huh? What? Hiragi Haru's corpse. What spread across the ground was the red of light. When had it stopped moving? Since when had its heart stopped beating? On her small, cold body, on her cheeks, drain of color, fluttering down, gently floating, many, many petals, piling up as if a soft blanket had been laid over her. Haru. The one lying there was indeed her. And yet, the one I had just exchanged words with should undoubtedly have been her. I don't understand any of it. What in the world is happening? I turned back. I want to talk to Haru one more time. But I felt like I'm about to burst into tears. I feel like I'm about to let out a sound. Something like a scream. The noisy schoolyard. My noisy heart. A harsh sound that only I could hear. What reflected in my eyes when I looked back at her was this. Haru, who I had just been talking to. Her figure had become thin and translucent like a spirit. And behind her, the true form of the rustling sound only I could hear was showing its hideous figure. The unpleasant noise that had been grating on my ears since earlier. Only I and the translucent Haru could hear it. No one else could see it. It suddenly appeared behind Haru. A grotesque being. Akumu. Each time it twisted its mouth, obscenely. It was a noise emanating from deep within its crimson throat.
ごめん。嘘をついて、大好きなあなたのことを騙して。本当にごめんなさい、大河くん。でも、
The translucent Haru said,
もしも人生をやり直せるのなら、
Huh?
私は何度やり直そうと、何度生まれ変わろうと、きっと何度だって同じことをする。
Haru.
大好き。
Haru quietly. The translucent her said,
大好きです。大好きでした。
with a heart no one could touch.
ずっとあなたのことだけをずっと思ってました。
With that voice, which would never reach anyone.
さようなら。あなたの人生から私はここで消えるけど後悔はない。
She was smiling. Haru said, wishing for me to live happily.
こんな私のことなんてもう思い出さなくてもいいくらい幸せに。
The child who died there is just a nameless passerby. You'll completely forget about that child by tomorrow. That's Maho, my Yume.
ほら見て、大河くん。あの花が満開だよ。
Haru pointed at the sky.
あなたと一緒にこうしてあの花を見上げることができた。だからもう後悔はない。夢は叶った。
I smiled, but a single tear wet her cheek. I think it's she who smiled.
ありがとう。あなたでよかった。最初で最後に好きになった人があなたで本当に幸せでした。
Nagamu nestled by Haru's side. Haru, no. I didn't know what was happening right now, but I couldn't shake this bad feeling. I can't just say sayonara like this. No, Haru. Don't go. I reached out my hand to Haru, but it was no use before my outstretched fingertips could reach her.
神様、お願いします。この命はあげる。好きにして。地獄に落とされて永遠に苦しむのでも構わない。
Haru, her hands clasped as if in prayer, right before my eyes.
だけど神様、お願い。大切な人との大切な思い出だけはお願いだから持っていかないで。ずっとせめて心の中でだけでもあなたと一緒に。
Haru vanished. She was swallowed whole by Akumu of a shape I'd never seen, slipping into the Yodo and disappeared. The world is like a sturdy box. We were always forcibly confined within it. Someone unseen closes the lid on that box, and then locks it securely, layer upon layer, layer upon layer. so strictly that it could never be opened from the outside or inside. And then the world ends. Haru never comes. Ah, fuck, they have the same name and the Yoru doesn't break. I'm trapped again in the cold place like the dead of winter. And so we pray that someday, a dazzling morning, a warm Haru will come visit us too. Even though I know that merely praying accomplishes nothing, changes nothing. Still, all that was left for us was to pray. Where on earth did we go wrong? Hiragi Haru, former Maho Shoujo. April 27, deceased. Cause of death: jump suicide. Welcome back, Subahimi. Wow, fuck. No, seriously, what the hell happened? What the? I knew something felt wrong. I always felt there was something wrong. What the fuck? No. I guess, well, he was too hasty to just, you know, grant her wish, but what was the reason for that? What was the circumstances? Why? Another heavy log was placed on the world's small box. Such a malicious noise. The sound of the world cracking once more. I felt as if I heard it. What the fuck? No, seriously, what the fuck? I am alone, wrapped in darkness and silence. The sound of countless second-hand marking time. It should be a sound I'm completely used to, but for some reason tonight it didn't feel comfortable at all. Right now, I was closing my eyes tightly in my room at the Yume no Nedoko. Clutch in my hidarite was a single maho. To grant my negai and yume. Though it wasn't the embodiment of such feelings, the cost, however, was a little too great. This was just a few hours ago. Doshite? Why did things turn out this way? I hung my head, buried my face in my hands. Yume no Nedoko. Its back room. Me, Asai-san, and Toya. Instead of the usual delicious food, a heavy, oppressive atmosphere hung over the low table where the three of us sat. Haru died, I murmur. Hiragi Haru. She died. Yeah. No. It would be more accurate to say I squeezed it out in a groan. A sharp pang. My heart, my very life, creaked with intense pain. It was suicide. The cause of that was blunt force trauma to the entire body, spinal cord injury, and a cerebral concussion on top of that. I recounted to Asai-san what had happened that day, but last night she didn't show any signs of it at all. The clock tower's control room. I jumped from its window. Her last words were,
ごめんなさい。私はあなたを騙した。
those words. No. Last words isn't quite right either. They were words that reached me after her death. Haru, her soul had been spirited away, Kamikakushi. But where? Likely within the Yoru. The thing that took Haru looked exactly like her. Perhaps that was Haru's Akumu that took form in the Yoru no Kuni. I don't know why they appeared in the Taya no Chikan, but I can only assume that for now. Haru's life was swallowed by her own Akumu and dragged into the Yoru. But she wasn't anywhere. Chasing Haru's life, I ran around the Yoru no Kuni, If what truly took Haru was her own Akumu, I hoped that by destroying that jet black entity shaped like Haru, I could get her back, but it was no use. Haru was nowhere to be found. I ran around the Yoru and returned to the Yume no Nedoko, utterly exhausted.
それは確かなのかな。
Asahi-san looked into my eyes quietly and said that.
春は自身の悪夢に夜の国へと連れ去られた。それは確かなことなのかな。
She asked me again as if to confirm. I nodded. There's no mistake, I said. Shigai nai. I saw it in my own eyes. Nothing like this has ever happened. Not once in my memory, so I don't know what to do anymore. There's nothing to do. Haru is gone, but I can't accept that, so I'm pathetically clinging to Asahi-san, believing there must be some way.
確かにそうだな。
Asahi-san nodded.
大河が目撃してしまったようなことはこれまでただの一度だって起きたことがない。悪夢が夜の国から外に出てくるだなんて。
And to drag someone's very light into the Yoru itself. That never happened, not even once.
だけどそれは現実に起こったことで、実際に春はもうどこにもいない。
Asahi-san shook her head weakly and said,
今私たちの計り知れない何かが起きてる。それは確かなことなんだろうと思う。10年前。
Huh?
10年前だよ。私たちは人類の未来を脅かす最大の悪夢と戦った。決定済みの運命にそんなものには従えないと喧嘩を売ったんだ。それは人類の未来を守るということで、予言された崩壊の未来を打ち壊すということで、故に未来と敵対した私たちの身に何が起きても不思議じゃなかったんだ。
What do you mean?
私たちは夜の王を打ち倒して運命を書き換えた。たくさんの魔法とたくさんの希望とを両手に抱えて、それはつまり時間そのものをうがったということでもある。うがたれたその穴を埋めるため、時間が、未来が、いやこの世界そのものが敵対する私たちに牙を向く。
Asahi-san was saying that it wouldn't have been strange for something like this to happen.
これまでの10年間はあんまりにも平和だった。このまま何事もなく時は過ぎゆくものと信じていたけれど、でも夜の王を倒してから10年間、その間に何も異常がなかったことこそ、もしかしたら異常だったのかもしれない。
Asahi-san said that we had forgotten our enemy was far too powerful.
私たちが戦うべき相手は悪夢なんかではない。この世界という名の運命だ。決して目に見えず触れられもしない存在だ。ああ、そうだ。だから何が起きても不思議じゃないんだ。こういうことも起こり得る。それを忘れてしまっていたんだ。いや、のんきにも間抜けにも考えもしていなかった。
The enemy we should fight doesn't exist. A clear enemy that the Seigi no Mikita could defeat by joining forces with allies never existed in this world to begin with. The one we declared war on, our adversary, the Sekai itself. So it's not strange for anything to happen. Now, Junen, after I became an enemy of the Sekai. The Sekai had finally bared its fangs at us, or so it seemed. As a result, Haru is gone. She died. Yeah, she was killed. We were killed by this world. By this malicious world itself, which calmly waited for the moment I let my guard down. No. No. That's not it. That's wrong. I look at my hidaride as I stare at it. What are you trying to do? Shift the blame? Asahi-san tilted her head.
どうしたタイガ？何が違うんだ？タイガ。
Haru was killed by this world.
ああ、そうとも言えるのかもしれないって話だよ。ごめんなタイガ。私があんまりにも平和ボケしてしまっていたから。
No, that's wrong. You're wrong, Asahi-san. Haru was killed by this world assault. Really? I clenched my fists. Is that truly the case? I strongly question myself for being so shallow. I'm the one who killed Haru, not this world. I murmured that and opened my eyelids. Now, I'm holed up in the room I was given at the Yume no Netoko. I thought Asahi-san to give me some time to think alone. I'm the one who killed Haru. It was my negligence. I've forgotten my role. Who am I? Remember, the role his hand bears. I was supposed to be given the role of judging whether Haru's intentions had the right to use Maho. But despite that, I didn't even think deeply, and I ended up using Haru. I believed in Haru, and I easily gave permission. Man. I was deceived, even though I believed her. Haru, doshite? And then, I don't intend to blame Haru like that. It's just what I feel. What I can't help but feel is that thought. It wasn't supposed to be like this. That's all. That's right. It wasn't supposed to be like this. If it were that person, my admired hero, they wouldn't make such a terrible mistake. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Why is it me here, not that person? Only that fills me with regret. I bury my head in my hands. If only I had been a little more cautious. If only I had been a little more thoughtful. If only I had chosen words that somewhat belittled myself. If Haru hadn't reunited with someone like me, Maho in the form of a girl, in the form of a shoujo, a Maho shoujo. If it had been Asahi-san, as it should have been, who gave the permission for that power, Haru wouldn't have died.
それは違う。
Huh? A voice sharply declared it, and I turned.
違うよ、タイガ。君は絶対悪くない。
I like how she's still wearing the outfit. Before I knew it, Kuro was by my side. She was by my side, sitting on the bed next to me, clutching my head. Kuro, when did you... And here I thought I was all alone, shut away.
気配を消すのは得意。猫だから。
She said that, with a slight tilt of her head.
だから、タイガ。いつもどこかから君のこと見てたよ。
She was always watching you, even in the clock tower, doing stuff with Haru. I see. Always, huh? Arigato. I nodded, admitting I hadn't noticed, and smiled faintly. Indeed, I didn't feel your presence at all, Kuro, even though you're bad at hide and seek. Kuro gently took my hand. It was my hidaride, my yoru no hidaride.
春はあの子自身のために魔法を使い、夢を叶えることを望んだ。そしてあの子は望み通り自分の夢を叶えたんだと思う。
And the result of that is...
そうだね。春がどんな魔法を願い、どんな夢を叶えたのかは今となってはわからないけれど、春が最後の魔法を使った結果がこんなことになるだなんて、誰も春以外の誰にも予想だってできないことだよ。
Kuro's eyes staring at me seemed to be telling me not to blame myself.
大河のせいじゃない。
She said that repeatedly, and Kuro closed her eyelids.
私のせいだよ。
Huh?
私が悪い。大河のせいじゃない。
Everyone's randomly as taking blame or whatever right now. No one's at fault anymore. どうして Why would you say such a thing, Kuro?
私は頭が良くないから、おバカだから。考えることはいつも全部大河にお任せで。だけど、春たちの魔法をどんな風に使うのか、もっと私も注意して見つめて考えて、大河と相談できていればよかった。だって私はいつもそばで君のこと見てたはずなのに。
And yet, どうして
肝心な時に私はいつも何もできない。役に立てない。こんな私は一体どうして大河のそばにいたのかわからない。
Kuro bit her lip.
ごめんね、大河。
どうして My heart is overflowing with どうしてです Kuro, why on earth would you have anything to apologize for?
ごめん。春と笑顔になれてる君をそばで見てたら、ちょっとね。なんでだろう。奥の方が変な感じがしたの。
I gently touch the area around my chest, and Kuro puts on a sorrowful face.
私、なんだかおかしいんだよ。大河が誰かと笑顔になったら、私もきっと嬉しいはずだと思ってた。その誰かと大河が会えたなら、きっと私も幸せだって信じてた。それなのに。
Yet, according to Kuro, I turn my eyes away from the two of them the moment Taiga granted Haru his permission, even though it hurt me so much.
こんな私、大嫌い。大河が笑顔になれてたのに、どうして私は笑顔になれないんだろうって。どうしてこんなに嫌な子なんだって。私、泣きたくなった。だから昨日からあんまり大河のそばにいられなかった。あの夜、大河と春がどんな風にお話ししてたのかも私は知らない。私がいつもみたいにそばで大河のことを見ていられれば、春に何かおかしなところがあれば、もしかしたら私にでも気づけた何かがあったかもしれないのに。
Even so, I looked away from them. Kuro's face showed it repeatedly. Sad, lonely feelings fill me, and I can't say a word.
だから私が悪いの。大河のせいじゃ。大河だけのせいじゃない。
Kuro picked her words to be easier for me to Kuro picked her words to be easier for me to accept. Then she went on.
だからお願い。大河、聞いてほしい。
Kuro put just a little strength into the hand that touched my left one.
希望はまだある。二人で夢を語ろう。
I
大河、今こそ君の魔法を使う時だよ。
Head buried in shape, I slowly lifted my face.
大河は女の子たちの魔法に許可を出す。
あ、
そしてそんな大河の魔法に許可を出すのが私の役目。
Do you remember? Kuro asked. Of course, I answered. Then, as if relieved and sounding truly happy, Kuro gives me a smile.
小さな頃の大河の夢はどうしたって叶えられるものじゃなかったけれど、
Onegai. I want to die in as much agony as possible. I want the worst, most miserable end there is.
そんな夢を叶えるための魔法だなんて想像だってしてほしくなかったけれど、大河、今ならきっと大丈夫。
Kuro gazes at me as if to say, right?
自分の命を殺すためじゃない。大切な人の命を救う。そのために魔法を想像してくれるよね。
When I was little, Kuro and I talked about my maho almost every night. In a short time before bed, Kuro always gave me kind words, so Asai-san with her warm cooking unraveled my twisted heart, so before I knew it, I lost my yume. So what was my atarashi yume? What kind of maho would grant it? Looking back, talking with Kuro before bed was something I looked forward to though. We talk about it less frequently later.
でもそれは大河が大人になり始めてる証拠なんだって思って安心だった。自分の夢は自分の力で叶えられる。魔法なんかに頼ることなく。だから大河が魔法をこのまま忘れてしまってもいいんだって思ってた。そのまま全部を忘れてしまっても。
I like the thing that Kuro just said. That one of the big clear dividing lines of childhood and adulthood is whether you rely on maho or not. I think that's going to be important.
でも今の大河には魔法が必要。この問題を打ち破るのはいくら大人になれたからって不可能だ。大河、一緒に春を救おう。あの子の命を未来に運ぼう。君の魔法は、君の祈りは、それを可能にできるだけの力を確かに持ってるはずだから。
This is the Yume no Nedoko. To be precise, it's not the Yoru no Kuni, therefore maho cannot be used. However, my hitarite, no matter where I am, can draw maho from within the Yoru. I close my eyelids, still holding Kuro's hand. Then I think, so. What kind of maho do I wish existed here right now? What kind of maho could bring Haru back? If I could do my life over, I recall that voice. I would do the same thing countless times over. I recall Haru's words.
大河、
Kuro tilted her head at me as I opened my eyelids. Kuro? No. I shake my head. I can't imagine. What kind of maho would save Haru right now? It's too difficult for me to envision it. Of course, one reason I haven't been able to get my maho form until today is that my childhood dream was just too much, and Kuro wouldn't allow it, but I'm different from everyone else. I know it has enough Suzoruku to give maho a form. That's why, until today, I put off thinking about what kind of maho I wanted my own to be. What kind of kiseki would save Haru's life? It's easy to say it. I want Haru to be revived no matter what. That's all. There's nothing more. But that alone isn't enough. This Yoru no Kuni where everything you envision comes true. It can't just be words. I have to imagine it clearly. Otherwise, my imagination won't become maho. They just won't. Imagining is also like drawing up the blueprint for maho. And that's something I'm really bad at. Yet, I kept saying I wanted to be a hero, not listening to anyone, and as a result, I lost Asusa senpai. And even in the battle 10 years ago, I just kept dragging everyone down. That must be about something you're born with. That's what's called Sainyu. I, Kanade Taiga, wasn't born with the Sainyu of Suzoriku. So there's no way I, of all people, could suddenly so well after 10 years.
大丈夫。
Even so, Kuro nodded deeply and powerfully, saying, "It's Daijobu."
一人でできないことなら二人でしよう。きっと大丈夫だよ。
A hand squeezed tightly.
私も大河と同じ。夢とか希望とか想像することは苦手だけれど、想像力は人間だけの特別な魔法なんだよね。だからいつまでも子猫の私一人だと絶対に無理だけど。
I felt an even stronger power in our joined hands.
きっと大丈夫。信じてる。大河と私二人でならできる。絶対。
So Kuro told me, "Taiga, try again."
私も大河と同時に想像するよ。
My大切な人. The maho that can save Haru.
こうしてしっかりつないだ手と手で気持ちもきっとつながってくれるはず。私たちなら二人で一人分になれるはずだよ。
Instead of saying I understood, I nodded deeply in return and closed my eyelids again, imagining as if in prayer. Yes, just to pray. I thought of the time I spent with Kuro until today. We had lived so close, so intimately, side by side. I want to believe in that time. I thought that because I was able to think that, in my joint Hidarite at the Yoru, I sensed the shape of thoughts and prayers hidden in Kuro's chest. If I could firmly grasp those things in my palm, with an image of blending Kuro's and my Suzoraku together. It's okay, it's Daijobu. I felt like I could do it. Arigato, Kuro. The two of us. You and I, the two of us, will pull a Kaseki here. A maho to shatter reality into the palm of this hand. The result, Kika. Beyond my closed eyelids, I felt a dazzling light. Why is she wearing a uniform? Why is she wearing a school uniform right now? What's happening? Beyond my open eyelids, Kuro stood in her cute form. She hung her head shyly. She had both eyelids tightly shut, and she was clutching the hem of her skirt tightly. It was the academy uniform.
どうしてこんな。
Kuro said, her voice pained. Gomen, when using Yoru no Maho. Asahi-san set up this left hand's roll, so it would turn out like this, and it's still that way. Wait, so Kuro's Maho Shoujo outfit is just the school uniform? I mean, I guess I understand.
私は別に春たちみたいな魔法少女じゃないのに。
To say nothing of being human, she isn't even that.
それなのにどうしてこんな格好。
I like that's her Maho Shoujo outfit is just a school uniform. Kuro said it was strange. Yeah, you're right. Only the Maho of a Maho Shoujo sky is supposed to transform. So why Kuro too? I was surprised myself. But Kuro and I tried to combine our small Suzo. Perhaps this Hidaride's drool judged that Kuro was also my Maho. Well, that's a possible assumption. Kuro seemed displeased about other things as well.
どうして変身するのは フリフリでふわふわでそんな衣装じゃないの？
Yeah, I still don't know why her Mao Shoujo outfit is basically just a school uniform. I think so, but
うん
I've actually always thought this uniform would definitely suit Kuro. And that someday, it'll be great if Kuro could also wear this uniform and experience Academy life with all of us. I had dreamed of such things every day. That kind of Suzoruku, or rather, Boso. I might have accidentally stepped it in while envisioning Maho with Kuro.
うん
Kuro lowered her gaze slightly. Then she pursed her lips and lightly patted the uniform that clad her body. She tugged at her skirt, then muttered something about her tummy feeling warm.
似合う？
She said, looking up at me as if gauging my reaction. Yeah, very much so.
ならいいけど。
She suddenly averted her gaze. As I gazed at Kuro's profile, I thought, Gomen ne, Kuro. I had to have intentionally wished for her to look that way. Especially at a time like this. Even a small smile would have been enough. I wanted her to smile. It was precisely because it was a time like this. I wanted to first dispel the atmosphere that felt darker and more sober than necessary. After all, beyond the time we spent holding hands and facing things together, there should always be something bright and joyful. If possible, I wanted the result to be one where we could declare our happiness with a smile. From now on, I'm all alone. I can't rely on anyone. That's why, at least, I want to adorn this starting point with brightness, with your cute appearance I always dreamed of. Now, let's use Maho. I decided on this as the price. I hear the sound of the Maho safety being disengaged. This is the shape of the hope I envisioned with you, to save Haru. And that's what I, selfish to the core, was thinking. I noticed Kuro's profile rapidly turning pale, faster than I could ask what was wrong.
無理だ。
Kuro uttered that single word.
無理だよ。タイガー。私にはできない。
I also noticed that the hand we held was trembling.
どうしてこんなこと。こんな魔法の形だなんて。ひどい。
Kuro.
ごめん、タイガー。やっぱり私は嘘つきだ。
Kuro said, gritting her teeth and even tears welling up.
私は君の魔法に許可を出すことはごめんなさい。絶対にできない。
I wonder what he imagined. I wonder what he imagined. I had to call it in here. Just like the last time I had to end the stream. I mean the recording was also at when Taiga went ... Anyway, we'll continue again tomorrow. I should be able to start earlier tomorrow. I'll be working at home. Hopefully I'm not too ultra busy. I should start early. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy watching, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Ciao.
出会った日のその白さ、色褪せないまま変わらずに、朝日が髪を撫でて眩しい光散らす。出会った日の思い出を色鮮やかに描くよ。視線がすれ違うたび、高鳴る鼓動を抑えた。初めて触れた指でなぞった名前、心まで染め上げて全てを変えてゆく。春空舞う花びらは過ぎ去った奇跡じゃなく、めくった季節を越えても輝いて、二人の未来を彩るよ。春風吹くこの場所で、懐かしい舞台の上、重ねた想いの数だけ迷わずに、二人で描いてゆこう。新しい物語を。放課後待ち合わせて帰った夕日の色、夜空浮かぶ月のように、君がそばにいてくれた。視線がぶつかるたびに近づくことを数えた。初めて触れた方の震えが今も心まで染め上げて全てを変えてゆく。繰り返す時を幾千も夜を永遠に過ごす。この先もずっと冬の名残払う。風は汚れのない思い乗せて飛んでゆく。春空舞う思い出は過ぎ去った奇跡じゃなく、明日へ踏み出す背中をそっと押す。昨日から届く贈り物だよ。春風吹くこの場所で、新しい舞台の上、重ねた手と手をもう二度と離さずに、二人で今歩き出そう。終わらない物語を。